And Darcy, if this is okay with you, we will start at 9 sharp,
Okay.
out of respect for everyone who's on time.
Okay. No problem. I can do it.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I am Dr. Darcy Toomey, the Director of Events and Programs here at NACCE. And today we are going to do a webinar with Sol CC on the Future of Work Challenge, Redefine Learning Through Real World and Challenges. And because we have individuals from Hawaii to the East Coast, we're going to say good morning and we're going to say good afternoon. And we appreciate everyone taking the time out of your day to join us on today's webinar. So I would like to introduce some of our guest speakers today. One is Mojde Eskandari. She, along with her colleague, Wee Win, as well as Dr. Karen Seda and Dr. Chad Redwing, will be our host today in going through what our topic is about, educating us on, and the next steps of how to participate in this project. So with this, I am going to turn it over to the four of them. So thank you.
Thank you, Darcy. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to all of you. What we have planned for today is the following. We're going to spend a few minutes on what Solve CC does so that you will see that the Future of Work Challenge is one of our programs that you're tuning in for today. Then we're going to dive in directly to Future of Work Challenge, give you some examples of what has been done in the past, tell you what will be your potential role if you wish to continue to work with us for the next few months, and then opening it up for more than half of this session to question and answers. The goal is to have an interactive conversation with all of you. Okay. And now I need your help because the arrows are not working on.
Okay. You should be able
Do you
to,
want me to stop sharing and you will share?
you should just be able to scroll. No?
No, it's not working
Okay,
either.
no problem. Yeah, I'll take over.
Thank you. I stop. Just bear with us for 1 minute. And believe it or not, we practiced it yesterday, so it was working, but it's always like that.
Okay, let me know when you guys can see the screen.
We can see it, Yui. Just a few words about who we are without going through our profile or bio. It's important to know that our background is not education, so bear with us if sometimes we are not using the appropriate term or word or asking you questions. Our passion is education, and our passion is working with students and providing them access. We can talk about our experiences. We both have are from the private background. We more entrepreneur that I have been with the high-tech companies for over 2 decades, organized many TED events. But the main message from this, bear with us, we might not speak your exact language. Next, please. So where we are coming from is that access to opportunities is everything. We believe that talent is everywhere. Potential is everywhere. Access to opportunities are not. And what we are trying to do by no means is replacing what they potentially learn to their classes or at colleges, whether they are college or university, is offering them access to opportunities that's going to boost their confidence, help them learn essential skills, and basically make them believe that their voice is matter, whatever they want to do in the future, whether they want to continue their um, studies, whether they want to become freelancers, whether they want to create their own venture. What our goal here to offer them access to opportunities. Next, please. We have been around a little bit over 2 years. We have had, or we have engaged with, now it's a little bit updated, with close to 3,000 students. Through these students, over 10,000 community members have been engaged. And you're going to see how this has happened completely organically. And there has been over 80,000 of cash prizes awarded to these students, in addition to mentorship and some other um, benefits that is useful for them. So this is what has happened for the past 2 years.
Bogus trumped up charges. Is that something that Rashawn, you think is under the
Some of the, let me go quickly over the benefits for your students. This is all about empowerment. This is about boosting their confidence and really connecting the classwork with real world application in their community. So this is not, and I know we are talking about experiential learning, which I don't know how exactly translate from class to class, but you're going to see that what we ask them to do here is slightly different, is 100% student-led. They are taking the driving seat. And any of us who's going to coach them and help them is really gonna take the second place and answer their question, be their devil's advocate, and play a role as a team member, as a coach, and not a teacher. We are not teaching them here. We are just coaching. What we consider being the benefit for the institutions is, of course, a different way of experiential education. It has helped for the colleges who have been involved with us to improve breaking the silos, if you have some of them in your colleges, uh, across department. It has also helped breaking those silos across community colleges. Those silos doesn't exist in the mind of students. This is us with our bureaucracy. when we let them go, and I will give you some examples of that, they are not even seeing those silos. So they do whatever they want to do organically, naturally, and follow what they are passionate about. That has been beneficial to some of the coaches. We have some of the faculty members who have mentioned after one semester of being involved with us that it has impacted the way they have been running their classes. And these are their words. That was not a part of our mission, although we were hoping for that to happen. And this is happening. And then among the colleges that we have been working with, we have started to share, they have started, we are just facilitating, to share the best practices. We have had colleges with representative from different college and the kind of conversations that they usually do not have. The webinars or the conversations or brainstorming across college, across department, they told me, some of them, that this is the first one that we were having it. And we had no idea. So it has helped to bring the champions together. And I'm using the word champion because our champions have been faculty members, have been deans, have been staff, believe it or not, whoever in
Yes.
the
Okay, I
college.
saw you walking in. I ran to Wendy. Do you want anything? No.
We have seen anyone who's passionate taking up on a champion role. And these champions, they have benefited from learning from each other. And of course, for the graduate, and one of these days, I think that we need to change those images. We are saying market-ready graduate, but based on what we and I believe, at least, in a couple of years, they're not even gonna look like that. We are gonna move from just getting hired and for the boys to wear a tie at their work. That whole picture is changing. The whole, I mean, is technology impacting that? Is COVID has impacted that? So, but we are gonna make them ready because they have learned how to ask the right questions. They have learned how to work in a team environment. They have learned how to manage conflicts within the team. So these are the essential skills that are going to stay with them, whatever they are interested in. Huey, I'm not seeing the slides anymore. Are we having any issues?
He lost control of his Zoom and he'll be right back in. So
Okay,
he had to leave and will return. So you're good.
thank you for that. Let me just go to the slides that I had so I can start talking through that until Hui is back with us. The next slide is going to talk very quickly about the key programs that Solve CC offers. The one that we started with and we have a lot of experience is Solve Community Challenges. What does that mean? There are many platforms, the X Prize of the world, the MIT of the world, the UN of the world. They are launching challenges to address the global issues. We are absolutely not in that space. What we want, and research shows that a majority of community college students, specifically the ones who are not going to continue their studies, but some of the ones who are continuing their studies, they are remaining in their communities. So the sooner they get connected with that community, the better it is for everyone. What we are asking them is the following, is build a team which has the minimum requirement is to have one student from your institutions. The rest of the team members can be problem owners in the community, can be friends and family, can be faculty members, can be representative from industry or nonprofits. They can build a team who incorporate whoever is passionate about the problems that they want to address. We provide them with tips and resources to do the research and to find out if those problems represent the problem of the community at large by involving the community members. We ask them to select a problem that their team can address should they choose to do that. This is not about coming up with a huge scope of problem and then say that needs to be addressed at the state level or nationwide. Let me give you one or two examples. The students have been working on homelessness. They have been working on mental health issues. They have been working on climate change. But they are narrowing it down to what that means in their specific community and what are the extremely concrete actions they can take to address them. And this is what we are asking them. Okay, coming back to your slides. Let's go to the next one. I basically talked about that, and what I would like to show here are three 1-minute video from 3 different colleges. One of them, forgive me if you have been at NACCE and our workout session, but I think it's important for everyone to see that. Let's start with the first one, Hui.
Blue Horizon is back for Soft CC Season 2 Challenge 2. Our community problem, homelessness, still remains. In fact, it's not just our problem, it's a global issue.
Given our limited knowledge and experiences, we decided to work with professional organizations and expertise with homelessness.
This has led us to partnering with the local NPO, in which the director invited us to volunteer with their program.
For the past 8 months in the morning when we're supposed to be in school, shh, don't tell. We organized clothing and boxed up food for folks in need.
Additionally, she invited us to a committee meeting on homelessness led by city and community leaders.
We attended and contributed info about grants, potential living sites, modulars for purchase, and portable showers and restrooms.
Finally, our research led us to one of the world's most successful NPOs in Finland in reducing the homelessness from over 18,000 to about 3,600.
We met with the head of international affairs at 3 a.m. for a breakdown of their Housing First model.
What do we learn from these incredible leaders? That homelessness is a humanity problem and it takes courageous actions to make change.
This incredible wisdom led us to plan to get these folks back on their feet. 1. Apply grants for funding.
2. Purchase land, apartments, and housing.
3. Prepare social services for mental and health recovery.
4. Look for willing participants. 5. Move participants into Housing First and provide social services. This is key to creating safety and security for recovery.
6. Provide education for job and career readiness. And finally,
7. Provide an opportunity for employment.
With the help of SOCC and community leaders, it's time to make a decision.
the recovery of lives depends on it.
Thank you for that. You are here because you're representing colleges. You might ask yourself, what does these kids have to do with that? So the amazing thing happened here. And through this example, I just want you to imagine possibilities in your own community, if that makes sense to you. Barstow Community College, an elementary teacher student heard about that competition. And because this challenge, and because the requirement is to have at least one currently enrolled student in the team, he went to enroll at Barstow Community College to be able to bring his students to this challenge. Honestly, for the life of me, I wouldn't have imagined that, but this happened. So he has brought his students for 2 cycles of challenge, and they have won based on the voting done by the Barstow Foundation members. They won first place both time. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing here is, first of all, you can pull into these challenges the younger one, the older one, the professional one, whoever you want, if one of your students choose to do that. This is an important point because they have connections in the community that you might not have. That's how they are bringing the community in. What these students did, unbelievable. And I learned that from the president, from Eva Bag, the president of Barstow. These students spend a couple of weekends before deciding what problem they want to address. They put a research, they went in front of the Walmart where everyone is going, the only Walmart in the city, and they asked questions from the city members. Based on the results of that research, they decided to work on homelessness. Then they went to work with city officials. I mean, they did stuff that, to be honest with you, college students have rarely done for these challenges. They had an amazing coach, their teacher, and that teacher, you don't even see him. He was just coaching them. This video is done 100% by them. We are just providing tips to them how to shoot a video. We have in our team speaker coaches who have coached TED speakers. So we are offering those sessions to the students, not to 100% of the students, to the finalists. And this is the outcome from that specific college. Let us go to the second one, Yui. Are we ready to go to the second video? Thank you.
So have you ever seen a pile of manure or a pile of almond holes? Here in Modesto, where I go to college, you can drive 5 miles in any direction, and I can guarantee that you will see exactly that.
Our team's research has identified that organic matter like this eventually ends up in landfills, where it's producing awful gas that's polluting our environment, such as methane gas.
Now, imagine a device that can use this waste and capture the methane gas from the waste to produce enough energy to, say, fuel a car or light up a whole building. That's the goal of MGC Biofuels, to build this device, an anaerobic digester.
We hope you will join us in planting the seeds of change for
our community. Thank you.
So, Chad, you know some of your students here. We have many of those on our website. This is just a sampling to show you. We do not tell them what topic to choose. They really go what they are passionate about. That makes a huge difference because we all know how challenging it is to get the attention of the young ones today. If they have a passion about a topic, that makes everything easier. So this is up to them to choose what they're going to work on. Can we go to the third one, Yui? Thank you.
Are you interested in learning personal finance in an engaging and entertaining way? Do you hope to develop financial literacy in a competitive and fun nature? Then Capital Clash is just for you. Capital Clash is a 6-player card game developed by our committee consisting of Alexis, Bettina, Harvey, Ian, Rocky, and myself, Joaquin, under the support and guidance of Professor Robert Jones. In Capital Clash, students transform into business leaders of various fields, competing to dominate the market. The game plays in turns, where players can draw and play cards to become more and more profitable. With cards revolving around insurance, investment, economic climate, and much more, we effectively incorporated financial education into an engaging experience for younger students to learn, which we evaluated when we visited an elementary school, intermediate school, and our high school to contextualize our project within each grade level. However, Capital Clash isn't just a game, it's a movement. We're on a mission to bridge the financial literacy gaps in our schools and in our communities. Join us in reshaping the future of education with Capital Clash, where learning financial literacy isn't just essential, it's exhilarating. Thank you.
These are This is a team from Shafie College. And Professor Jones, Ian, he is the one who told me at the end of that cycle that going through that process, I have changed the way I'm teaching. So you imagine that when we are working out of passion for, we are working tirelessly, honestly, on these kind of projects. When we hear that from students, when we hear that from the professors, we know exactly what we are doing this. Let's go to the next slide. So let us go directly to why you're here. First of all those challenges that I talked about, these are not in the scope of our conversation today. They can be anytime you decide to engage with us directly. And we will see that you will have our contact information. But what we are going to focus on today is the future of work challenge, which is slightly different that I showed you up to now. Future of Work Challenge is an innovative initiative, and it's the second one in the future-oriented challenges that we have launched. The first one was Future of Life Challenge, and we have ideas for additional ones that we are imagining student teams, student-led teams, same thing. One person cannot apply. We need a team. And by the way, the teams that we have had in the past, it has gone, the average number of team members has been 3 to 5. We have had teams with 30 members. So that is entirely up to them as well. If they have more than one idea, they can apply as many times as they want. That whole process is free flow. As many challenges, as many ideas. Again, the only requirement is one college student enrolled. What we are asking students here is, again, to involve whoever they want to involve, community members, educators, industry and nonprofit champions, family members, and we want them to envision the future, not to predict it. We want them to learn the signs of what's happening in the future. Even if they are not ready for it, this is okay. We want them to imagine the future they would like to live in. So that's the scope of the Future of Work Challenge. It's way easier for the coaches than the Problem Solution Challenge, just because all they need is their imagination and creativity. Go, next slide, please. If you decide to continue that journey with us, you probably know that, but let me emphasize that there is zero cost to you for this specific challenge, because this is 100% sponsored by NACCE and SolveCC. It is easy to implement. What does that zero cost means? Because I have worked with colleges, I'm getting not used to it, but I'm learning about the level of bureaucracy, signing a membership agreement, getting all those approvals. If you are not a president, if this hasn't been approved in some cases by the board or your financial person, none of you need to deal with that. If you are a faculty member, if you're a staff at the college, you can decide to participate. There is nothing, there is no formality that you need to deal with. If you are in this call, that means majority of you, I know all of you are not a part of NACCE or you are related to NACCE members, but you don't need to deal with any of those. You just decide and you reach out to students and you get them enrolled and participate. It's easy to implement, and the administrative hurdle, there are none. We will give you some tips if you decide to coach them. I would consider it a leadership opportunity for you if you're up for it. Whatever your position is within the college or outside of the college, working with the colleges. And the winners The winning teams are going to be announced next October at the NACCE conference. Again, we come back to all of these and we'll answer all your questions. Next slide, please. What is the purpose? What is a quick overview of this challenge? We want to engage students in anticipating trends and projecting them into the future scenarios, whether they are ready for it or not. If they are not, they're going to learn it. As a result, once we have their take on what the future of work should be, we want to amplify their voices and boost their confidence so they can be a part of the conversation on future of work. I do not believe it's for the people at my age. I'm not talking about you, just myself. I don't think I need to decide or I should decide what the future of work is. My experience is based on the past. I am interested in their vision for the future. Let's gather their vision for the future and support them when applicable to make it happen. What are the deliverables? Extremely simple. A 2-minute video capturing their vision of the future. And that video they can use AI to do it. They can do whatever they want. And the videos that you saw, we were asking them 1-minute video because that was not the goal of their challenge. They were working on problem solution and students did an amazing job. So this is not going to be, the deliverable is not going to be an issue. And we're going to ask them a very short description of their vision. That's going to help us to better understand their vision when it comes to judging. The other only thing we are ask them in their own language to tell us how their team was diverse and how they work together, because it's extremely important for us to move them towards teamwork, to move them towards diversity of team, diversity of perspective, diversity of the group. And this is going to be hard to judge through a 2-minute video. So we just ask them in a simple paragraph to say how they work together. Again, I'm repeating myself, but the team requirement, 1 student per team, one currently enrolled student in the team, diverse skills and perspective within each team. This is not required. We are really asking them every time we can. We ask them to do that. And if they don't do that, they're going to be penalized when we are judging their the deliverables. And of course, the team can include anyone they want to include in the team. Next slide, please. The timeline. The students can just register. That is their intention to participate. If they have, this registration is individuals or team. What does that mean? That means that if a student has already a team, that allows them to mention their team members. If they don't, we will ask them the question, do you need help to find a team? We will get through that a little bit later. So between now and March 31st, this is the deadline for them just to register. The deadline to submit the deliverables that I talked about, a 2-minute video and a simple explanation of their vision and how they worked as a team, is August 2025. The reason we put that deadline that far away, because you are at the end of a semester here. So engaging students now is challenging. Although, if some of you wants to engage them now in your classes and have them submit before the end of the semester the deliverables, you can. But that deadline is August 17. So that's going to allow for a couple of semesters based on the length of the semester, 8 weeks or a few months, and the summer students to apply for that. And the winners are going to be announced early October at NACCE. Next slide, please. Through this specific challenge, the last line is not visible, Huey, but that's not very important. Thank you. We think that the skills that they can improve are future-oriented mindset, at least thinking about the future, trying to read some of those trends. But even if this is not the case, that's one step forward toward that. Self-management. This is, I know that we are all talking about soft skills, essential skills. World Economic Forum simplify all of that in self-management. Today, if students, even in today's job, if they take a job today and they are not self-motivated, self-managed, they're not going to last. So we want them to be able to self-manage, resource manage, and be able to work in a team environment. We want them to softly and slowly learn how to lead teams. We have seen in the past frictions in the teams between people who wanted, if we had more than one students, we have one example of the team that completely broke. They didn't continue, and we had to deal with that. But it's better for them to learn it now than when they are working. So they're going to learn how to lead, how to manage conflict, and how to inspire others if they want to maintain their leadership role. And of course, more than everything else is creativity for this specific challenge. Be creative. Do not consider any boundary. What we ask you just to imagine, even if that seems impossible. So these are the skills that we are hoping they're going to gain through this competition. At the end of this session, if you would like to continue that journey with us, you need to sign up. I knew that some of you has already signed up to become a champion. What does that mean for us? First of all, there is no string attached at all. It is just your intention that you want to be a part of it. And if you decide to continue, then that means we are giving you tips on how to outreach to students and other faculty or other champions in your college, in your environments. And we are going to start today with giving you some tips from the champions that have worked with us in the past, how to incentivize students in addition to the cash prize, because they are not going to learn about that challenge if they don't hear it from you. I do not have access to students nationwide. Nobody does. And if you have worked in any extracurricular activity, you know how challenging it is to reach out to students if they are not in your class. So this is the biggest challenge, and we're going to tackle it today. And for the rest of it, we are going to have, let us go to the next challenge. Next slide, please. Our next webinar is going to be on January 16. If you are interested and you want, you're going to receive the announcements from NACCE, but I'm just putting the time of it here so you can mark it down if you're interested. If you decide to work with us, the only thing we will ask you between now and then, because that means you are going to start reaching out to students as of now, or at least thinking about it, is to share your ideas about outreach to students and other faculty members between now and then. It's about a month. I know that we have holidays coming in, but that doesn't mean that you cannot think about the ideas of how to start with that outreach. And then if you want to stay connected with me and we, these are our email addresses. Anything you need, we are both extremely responsive. I'm not going to go on vacation between now and then. I know Yui is the last 2 weeks of December, but one of you is here to answer you, set a Zoom call, answer your questions, whatever you need. Do we have any other slides? Let's go to the next one, please.
Sure.
Now I would like to open it up to questions, comments. Let's, I think is Lydia or Susan, unmute everyone. Just raise your hand and I would like us to have a conversation. Before I even ask some question and some guidance from Chad and Karen, who have experience with us, who have been championing this program, and they can share some of their ideas or some of what they have actually implemented in terms of outreach to students or other faculty members. So the floor is yours. Tell me, what do you think? Does that make sense to you? Anything? Any comments? I'll take it. Preeti.
Yeah. Hi, Moshe. So this is really streamlined, and I think the presentation is really informative for how we're going to do it this iteration of SolveCC. So I appreciate that. Thank you to you and Hui. So my question is, once the teams register March 31st, so March 31st till August 17th, they're working on their submissions. How do they reach out to get their questions answered? Would you be holding open houses? If you can tell us a little bit about that support system for those months.
Perfect question. And of course, you remind me of what I forgot to mention. First of all, they don't need to wait until March 31st to register. They can register today. I know nothing is going to happen at the end of the year, but what we and I are going to do, and any and all of the champions are invited, we are going to organize SolveCC hours for the students. We are going to probably start end of January, unless you tell us we need to do it earlier. We are ready to do it earlier, early January. I just don't want us to waste our time. I want the students register. And as soon as let's put it this way, as soon as we have 5 students register, we are going to open the SolveCC hours. We're going to open it up every 2 weeks, and if needed, every week at different hours so they can participate. We are also going through this series of webinars, Preeti. You are pretty familiar with that through the problem solution, but we are also going to give you some tips to how to answer their questions. And they can reach out to us. They can reach out to us. There is also contact SolveCC. I'm going to give you that information for the students, but we have time. There is also an email that they can reach out to us, but we're going to have SolveCC hours to answer the questions from students, team members, coaches, champions, you name it. And we're going to communicate those dates to all of you. Did I answer your question? Perfect. Any other question, comments? I really would like to hear from you. Even he's saying it's not clear, it's clear. I'm interested, I'm not. I want to know how we are doing, if that makes sense to you.
So Moshe, really quick, just for everybody, I put the link into the chat to register as a champion. And so one of these things is like, if you go in there, you can learn more information about what we're doing with the challenge, but registering doesn't necessarily mean that you're committing your university or anything like, or your college or anything like that. It's just registering your interest in this so that we can keep you updated and provide more information along the way. So that link is in the chat now. I do see Jarrett has his hand up. You want to go ahead and ask a question, Jarrett?
Sure, thank you. I appreciate it. This may be coming in the future, but do you all have, for context, I'm the executive director of advising and career development, and so I would be pushing this out to my faculty colleagues on campus and encouraging them to push it out down through academic course offerings. You all have a one-pager. Are there logos that we can borrow to develop our own one-pager to push out? You know, or anything that, you know, kind of PDF form that would grab somebody's attention?
Yes, we do. You are awesome because you're asking all the questions. You're asking the questions that I forgot the answer to these questions, I was supposed to talk about them. We have two flyers. One is for students and one is for faculty members. And we're going to send them to NACCE today. And you are all going to receive them alongside the recording of this webinar. The other thing that we have is maybe if you can put up the that page about the our website, our landing page, if you don't mind putting it back.
Sure.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Robert from California, Moorpark College out of Southern California. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the presentation. I found it very informative. I have a couple questions, and thank you for the presentation as well. And Jared asked one of the questions that I had already about, are we going to get a copy of the slides? When you spoke about preparing students for being market-ready graduates, I just want to kind of get a sense of the context of the student in the context of how you see it as a graduate. Our college is deeply involved with our local high schools, so we have dual enrollment opportunities, and also we're a college that offers a bachelor's of science program too as well. So I'm trying to get a sense of the scope and the space of a student that would be eligible. Is it too robust for a high school student enrolled at our college? Or is it too, is it relevant for a junior or senior status student at a community college taking a BS program? So I was trying to get the scope of how you identify a student, because your reference is really preparing market-ready graduates. A lot of our students are not graduating yet per se into the workforce. They're either transferring to a four-year institution or coming into our campus. So if you could help us clarify that. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Maybe we need to change that word graduate. That makes me think of that. First of all, we don't have all the right answers. So any input that you provide, we are going to incorporate them. The answer to your question is yes. We have had dual enrollment students participating on behalf of their college. The example of this one was actually three colleges. We had them from three colleges. No, this is not too soon for them. They have participated. And when we are saying future ready, we are not talking about any of the technical skills. That's not our role. We are just talking about those essential skills. And the answer is, this is going to be helpful for high school students. We don't offer it. I have actually more than one request from high schools and elementary schools. We are not ready to deal with them yet, but to take over that. But if they are participating through your programs, the answer is absolutely yes. They have been a part of it. We have had first-year students participating, then continuing the second year. Based on that, they have decided to change their major. Based on that, they have decided to, and all of these are happening organically, because they are experiencing what they need to experience when they enter the workforce earlier. They have decided to become entrepreneurs when they didn't have that intention at all. And some of these students were at the NACCE stage and shared their experience. And we have their videos, we can share them with you. The simple answer to your question is no, this is not early. And trust me when I'm telling you, if it was early or if I had any doubt, we can easily say no. We are not here to sell you anything. And we want us to succeed if we start working with each other, because you don't have time to waste and we don't have time to waste. It is not early for the population that you're talking about. We haven't offered that, although this specific challenge is open to any student, even universities. The reason we decided to start with the colleges, because we think that the need is greatest at the college level. The percentage of underrepresented and underserved students are higher in the colleges. And a lot of universities and colleges, they have more means than community colleges. So going above, if they want to have access to it, absolutely yes. Did I answer your question? Thank you.
Let me add just 1 minute of additional context. So something that I do outside of Solve CC is we actually survey business leaders, about 1,000 each week, and that's what we generally do. Prior to this this webinar, I just got off with Fox Business and on an interview with them as well. We regularly get reached out to talk about topics about market ready grads, Gen Z not being ready for the workforce. This is a very, very, very important topic and the top of everyone's mind. So a lot of businesses are saying Gen Z is lazy, entitled, and all the general stereotypes that Gen X also said about millennials. But now it's just been exploded, right? Just with social media. So I think, Robert, what you're asking is like, how are we preparing market ready grads? A lot of times what's happening is that we're preparing them early. We're exposing them to opportunities of collaboration, working together. They're able to tell a story and show motivation. Those have been the clearest success factors as we've interviewed businesses, is that they're looking for people with motivation. They're looking for people that can think critically beyond what they learned in the classroom. And this experiential learning, these opportunities to collaborate, ultimately, are what's going to help them succeed as they enter the workforce.
Thank you.
Preeti?
Mojdeh, I have one, if
Sure.
there's nobody else who's raised their hand, I just have another quick question. So the statement of future of work, if it can be elaborated a little bit better, so when we are presenting or talking to students about it, we are able to explain exactly what they're trying to submit, what they have to ideate on. So if that, if there can be a paragraph or a blurb on exactly what you mean on future work. Yeah.
It is done. We have 2 landing pages. If we have time at the end of the call, I'm going to show it to you. We have come up with 10 or 12 inspirational points for them to tell them, in addition to the prompt, what could be. But I would like to take advantage of Chad and Karen being present here. We only have time flies. I like to ask them, and Preeti, actually, you're going to be one of them if we have time. Karen, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us what you did with your student? And I know that was the scope of that experience was limited, but I think it's beneficial for our audience to hear it from you.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you, Mojdeh. I took advantage of a last-minute opportunity to offer my students the Future of Life challenge. And so we connected, I teach psychology, and we connected course learning objectives, universal design, and it's really experiential learning, project-based learning, all of those things rolled into one. So, I think sometimes we say we'll do entrepreneurship on Monday, assessment on Tuesday, and innovation on Wednesday or something, but we can really roll all of that into the Solve CC challenges. And I think one of the important things that Mojdeh said too is that this one, Future of Work, is really just their imagination and their creativity. So it's really like zero to low barrier to entrance for the champions to get students involved. In my class, they chose topics that they were interested in, like leadership of the future. What will it look like? And one of my teams, they brought in pictures of their childhoods as they talked about identity development in psychology. They wove their class learning into this really specialized experience that they co-created together. And I will tell you, these are the kinds of things where, you get tears in your eyes during class and you're reminded of why we do this work that we love so much. So I think because I did it with Future of Life, which is very similar to Future of Work, it was really easy to engage students. And then engaging them in a strengths-based perspective, because they all talked about, well, what are you good at? Well, I know how to edit video. Well, I'd like to be an actor. I was in drama in high school. Oh, well, I'll write the script, or, I'll run it through AI and have it add some humor for us. So they all really worked together, and they really had a co-creation experience, because I think a lot of times, even though we talk about student-centered learning and project-based learning, we give them algorithmic designs where we're still really telling them what to do, and we're being directive instead of coaching them. And so I think this is also an opportunity for us to really bring our teaching and learning in the classroom and outside the classroom and co-curriculars to the things that we've aspired to for a long time. I don't know what to say in this short period of time, but I will also say, because I'm really passionate about this work, I would be happy to volunteer and help anyone with their teams getting up to speed. But I see Solve CC as the future of education, but in the present. And if we are courageous enough to try something a little bit different, this may be what we've all been hoping for our students and for our colleges.
Thank you so much. Chad, you tell us about your experience. What is the best way of engaging students?
Yeah, very good. So thank you, Mojde. Thank you, and Karen, for the opportunity to join you today. It's been wonderful seeing you again, and thank you, NACCE, for hosting. Yeah, great conversation. I'll add just one quick thing and then promise to keep this to just 2 or 3 minutes. The conversation today, I think, who is this for, kind of resonated with me. And I think it's for anyone who has a belief that learners learn best when they learn by doing. And I think this is one of the transformations I've had working with Solve CC and hundreds of teams in college and university courses that I teach. It's that we've kind of forgotten how to fail, right? That the entrepreneurial spirit is one of iterating. It's of trying 100 times and only winning once. And so that idea, that ability to kind of risk take and bring ideas forward, I think is a kind of a crucial component for learning in the future for all of us. The last quick thing I'll say, there's a professor somewhere here in Northern California, I think he's at Stanford, and he puts people in MRIs and then asks them to think about the future. And as you think about the future, most of your neocortex starts to shut down. All the higher thinking parts of your brain, they go dark. And so the concern for that is, as the future gets further away from us, right, between what was for lunch yesterday and what's for lunch tomorrow, if we don't have practice visualizing that future, if we have a very vague notion of it, it's hard to go there. And so that's what I would say. I'm really excited about this challenge. I'm just kind of learning about it myself today, right? My experience is over multiple semesters, I made sure that a Solve CC challenge was a required part of my interdisciplinary humanities courses. I didn't want students out of the class until they could do this, right? And so we focused on the problem solution challenge and the future of life challenge. But I think a couple of other interesting ways to think about this quickly, especially given our audience today. This can also be a co-curricular activity, right? One of the ways we found at Modesto Junior College to break silos, we had a kind of a faculty-student community of practice. And in that way, we encouraged at least 3 or 4 divisions of our college to work together and actively participate in this challenge. But I think the last thing I'll say, and then I'll turn it back to you, is what's caught my mind about this future of work challenge. I'm going to require it in classes I teach in the spring. And so for me, I think the timing is perfect, and I can offer it all the way through the summer. At the community college, and I know this speaks to many people on the call, the kinds of learners outside of learning by doing and being future oriented, the thing we're contending with in the community college, but also at the 4-year university, is that a vast majority of our learners are working learners. That's what makes this generation of learners unique. So the opportunity to think about the future of work itself kind of links their learning with their work. And most studies show that that is how you create students who are kind of best propelled into the future. There's even a book called Work that is a deep history from the Stone Age to the age of robots, right? There's all kinds of thinking that's interdisciplinary that I would just encourage people in a broad array of classes to think about. It's been transformative. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Chad. Out of respect for your time, we have 2 minutes left. If you want to stay longer, we can. If you have any last minute question, we can. And we have, I had a couple of videos we didn't have. SolveCC participated with the UN last year. They ran a Future of Life challenge. It wasn't for students. I have some of those videos that I can share with you next time. I will have some of Chad's students' videos that are, the deadline for them is December 9. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can share them with you. And then I have Karen's students' videos that I can share with you, but then you need to attend the next call. Is there any last question? What should we call it the day? You tell me what you want. Anything else?
I think we have the information, at least I have the information I need, we and Mojde, so really thank you for that. And I do have a sidebar question. I'll send it to both of you, but I have signed up and I'm looking forward to this iteration.
Perfect. Let me share with you the answer to the question that you asked. We have 2 landing pages here. Do you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this one is for students, and we have a similar thing here. Join. This is for the faculty members to sign up. The answer to your question, Preeti. This is just the landing page. We have all the information here. You ask for some of the tips for students. Find your inspiration. By no means we are asking them to select any of those, but these are some tips to get them started. And you can find that in that landing page. Huey, if you have already sent the link to through the chat. Does that answer your question, Preeti? Is that what you wanted?
Yes, very much so. And it also has information on how the submission format needs to look, like how many words or whatever format you want those 2 questions
In the written
answered.
application, they will all have it.
Yeah.
The first one, we are just asking them to register here. So they are saying, this is for students. They are saying, I have a team, I don't have a team. That's simple. Let me also show you. When I go for the champions to join, this is the forms that you're filling out. This is it. You're telling us who you are, what are your areas of responsibilities. We just want to know if you're a faculty member, inside, outside, and that's basically it. If you do that, you are joining as a champion, and this is for students. So this is also the answer to the question. In addition of the 2 flyers that we are going to send you, these 2 landing pages have all the information that you need, both for champions and for students. And the flyers, you can easily print them and distribute them and share them with the other champions, students at your college. Perfect.
Yeah, I'll just say that we are going to send a follow-up email with the link to this webinar, as well as links to the flyers that we talked about. I know that some of you had some questions. I think it was Robert that you had some questions about materials that you might be able to distribute to students as well as faculty within your organization. We will attach those. And yeah, those are going to be in PDF form. But if you guys need anything else, if there's anything else that's going to be helpful, one of the action items was please join us in January and then let us know if there's anything else that we can do, any ideas that you have. We're more than happy to accommodate to make sure this is successful for all of us.
With that, thank you everyone for your time. Happy holidays to everyone and looking forward to working with all of you.
Have a good day, everyone.